on that. Its camera is here if you need
looking,
to know. Okay, so
I'm trying to look.
just everything right before you need to actually record. What's going on, guys? So, yay, we're coming down to the last week of 00CTOBER 4, which, by the way, it does exist.
I recognize that design.
You should. Actually, you know, it looks better on camera than in... But, like, okay, so this is the new 00CTOBER 4 design that he did for me, just like he did the 00CTOBER 2019 logo. So, just open thing there, but we were comparing it. So, this is a sample version, so we think it just wasn't printed as good. It's also at first printing, so it might just suck. Either way, so, but he's here. You guys know this guy.
Hello.
He's been around here for a while, of course. RODIMUS13 shelf space, and of course he was featured last year. I think you actually opened last year with your tier and ground type custom.
Yeah, ground type. What do I call it? Red Tiger colors or something like that. I don't even know.
I think you came up with that later.
Yeah.
You're like, I think I'm gonna call it Red Tiger colors. Like 6 months after the video. But either way, so he's here to show off some more customs this year because we did a trade as we discussed earlier on when I did the what was the thing? It's like no, the 30 Gundam, the G30th Gundam. So that was the beginning of my thing. So you know, he just said it out loud. So my custom, that's fine because at this particular point in time. YouTube time travel. We don't know if my custom is going to be in this week because I don't know. I don't know if it's going to be done in time. I have not gotten there. What we're going to be looking at is his customs. So he brought two things over. One, you built this guy last year, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay. So it's last year's custom, and then the next one we're going to look at tomorrow probably is going to be the one he did this year. Right. Which was where we did a trade of things. He mentioned it on his review from his Gundam Age 1 normal review. So I've got the torso from that. And then, I keep forgetting that I've talked about this already. This is the problem with YouTube time travel. I have already told you guys that I traded out the Exia torso to him. So my Exia torso has come home.
Yay!
Back to its original. Now if the other parts just suddenly fly to it, it'll be like Gizmo Duck coming together, or Iron Giant if we want to go there. So parts. But okay, so before we flip the camera around, what is this guy called?
This is what I call the Wing 00.
It works.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense.
And you'll see why once we start looking at it. This was actually something that I had built originally for a competition, and then the competition got delayed.
We're not talking about that.
And
speaking of which, competition next week at G&G.
And then not that I have time for it.
Well, you do. It's out there. Finish mine in time. We could both go.
Anyway,
team build.
And then in between when the competition originally came out and when it got rescheduled to, I came up with something else that I liked even better, so I put that out there, and then this one just got kind of shelved for a moment. Even though I had completed it, I was just really happy with the other project. So
yeah. So we're gonna flip the camera around, and you guys should know what time it is. It's turntable time. So. Alright, so we got, first time somebody else's stuff has really been on the turntable. Well, no, that's not true. God, I'm lying all over the place. Either way. Well, because I got to think, we did What's-His-Face's stuff the other day on the turntable, so. And that's actually true in real time. Alright, so we turned this on, and I guess now that I consider it, you're not even the first custom this year, it's just the first one I'm filming. Because YouTube time travel, Eric's comes out first. So, and it's not done yet. So, either way, tell us about it while it's here on the turntable.
Okay, so obviously what I did here is I took the 0007 swords, the HG obviously, and I forcefully attached a Wing 0 backpack to it.
Ooh, it's struggling. Why is it? It's like shaking. It's like.
Yeah, there's a lot of plastic on this thing.
Yeah, it is limboing a little bit. I'm assuming that's a hip issue.
Possibly. I don't think I set it down super sturdy, but
I think there's not enough friction at the hips, and it's just at the only pivot point.
Yeah, the backpack is. Oh, is it gonna fall?
No, it's fine.
Okay, so yeah, the backpack adds a little bit of extra weight to it, and there's even more weight because I made a little connector joint there for a transformation mode. Basically, the idea with this was I was looking at the Seven Swords, thinking about what I could do that was interesting for it, and then I looked at it, I was like, it kind of reminds me of the Wing Zero, and I like photoshopped the colors onto it. I was like, I really dig this. What else can I do for this? And ordered the 2 kits and started gluing things together and painting and masking, and I'm really happy with how it turned out. Got my little chipping thing going on as well,
which I like on the big sword. I think that looks cool. That's an interesting recolor of the sword too for anybody who has seen it.
The sword in particular, or sword, shield, whatever.
It's a big sword.
Yeah. In particular, looked like the Wing Zero's shield to me. So that was kind of the start of this entire process.
All right, so let's take a closer look at it. Yeah, this is supposed to.
Oh, I'm bumping that.
Now you're see. And your tripod's huge. How are you running into mine?
I don't have a chair with legs like this.
Oh, that's true.
Because I have a normal.
The base of that chair sucks. Sorry. So manipulate as best you can. You're a reviewer. You know how this goes.
Okay.
So show us how the little guy works.
Okay, so really, I haven't changed too much in the way of articulation or anything like that.
I think essentially articulation we can skip.
Yeah. So the main things I did here is I masked off things so I could have the red here, and then I added green here to sort of look like the Wing Zero's cockpit.
I was going to ask why you did the vents in green instead of leaving them yellow.
Because they are green on at least one version of the Wing Zero.
None of them are green. It's like I've got all Wing Zeros. None of them are green. Right there. He just doesn't. He doesn't have vents on the actual Wing Zero. Not in the same way, but he has yellow surround around the gym.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Yeah. At one point, I had planned on doing like some yellow on these like little parts that sticked up. Oh, sorry.
Keep it in the center of the frame. I mean, I can move the focus, but jeez.
But that was just proving to be a little bit too time-consuming on this one.
Yeah. I mean, he looks cool.
One of my favorite parts that I did on this was the masking on this. I thought was incredibly on point. When I peeled away all the paint and the tape and everything looked exactly how I wanted. I was super duper happy.
Yeah. There's only one little like dink there, but I think it's the plastic, not your paint.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It's in the mold. I can see it because on both sides. That's how I know it's in the mold. You didn't do that. Yeah, that's actually like super on point.
And then I like how this came out. I don't. Gosh darn it.
That helped. Scooch you over. You'll stop moving.
Yanked across the room.
Yeah.
Anyway, I really like how I did the shield here.
That's my favorite part.
I don't really use it as a sword, even though that's what it's kind of designed to be, because it's a
giant GN sword.
Yeah. And then the wings. Cool thing I did here is to mask off this area for the yellow. I actually used the yellow sticker.
Yeah, yeah.
So I had painted this yellow, put the sticker, and then I peeled it off. And then I think the only problem I had was that it was there was a little bit of a residue left over from the sticker.
Huh.
And then this is the
I just noticed something. Sorry, not to interrupt you.
And this is the joint thing or connector port that I added on right there.
Yeah, I mean it looks feasible. I think the only awkward part, but you've actually hidden it, is that you've got 2 armed backpacks on it.
Oh yeah.
It's like, but it's hidden. One's hidden by the other, so it actually kind of works.
And the backpack on the 00 is so flat.
Yeah.
That because I had struggled with the thought of it, and then I was just sort of like I think I tacked things together. And I was like, oh wait, no, this is fine. Stop worrying about it.
When you mounted that other backpack to it, did you use, because it is just a single plug backpack, did you do anything like that, or did you just glue it straight up?
I think I just glued it straight on. I mean, I think I maybe even had to remove the connector ports to it.
Okay.
Because I wasn't planning on having it be a physical connection or anything like that. And so, like, the backpack for the 00 can still pop off if you want to. I'm not going to, but...
Plug into the backpack, so I'm plugged into the body.
But this part is physically glued on.
Good. But if we wanted to compare it to the
Here
00 we have looked at, so you can see the minor differences. Now, mind you, this obviously isn't the Seven Swords version, but the 00 body is the same. So, like what I'm talking about here, and that's why I was asking, is because it's just a simple port, a simple plug-in port. So, if you guys wanted to do this in the future, all you basically need is, if you had the O-riser or something along those lines, you just need a good-sized peg. If you wanted to keep that kind of removable, so it's almost like an add-on. Like if you wanted to have like a booster, like a get there quick type booster, that'd be pretty cool. Just that's an idea for anybody who wants to maybe replicate it.
And I do have his other weapons. They just are kind of awkward on this guy because there's so much hanging off of him right now.
A lot going on.
Yeah.
See, it almost still wouldn't look bad with the twin buster rifle.
That is something I had thought about, and part of me kind of wishes I had...
you basically replicated it with the big one, the big GN sword gun.
Part of me wishes I had 2 of these, so I could have twin buster rifle.
Do I have to get this kit next year so you can make that happen?
The main problem is I would also then have to engineer a connector port for them.
No, you wouldn't. They connect the same way on both sides.
Well, for when it transforms.
Oh yeah, you're not going to have that.
Speaking of which, should we go ahead and...
It's your thing.
Let's go ahead.
It's your thing. Don't screw it up.
It's been a while since I've done this, so...
I don't think it changed.
Yes, but...
I mean, the
you know what? These parts are coming off, I think.
Yeah, the GN, whatever those things are called. I can never get the name right, so I always say it wrong.
So...
He switched in the body.
Yep.
Did you have to clearance anything there when you did
No,
it? It actually has room?
No, it's just... Oh, and I did change out the feet for Wing Zero's feet.
Oh, yeah, I didn't even notice.
Because
Gundam feet or Gundam feet.
Because I wanted to have...
The thrusters.
Yeah.
But you've missed the idea to put GN verniers down there. You didn't have any. You didn't know me at the time.
I didn't know about GN verniers, so...
They're so cool.
Okay, let's see.
Oh, which, by the way, I need to show you how the ones on the Dynamis work. They're really cool.
Try to remember
they're
how...
actually mechanical.
Trying to remember how everything opens up on this.
I think you're nailing it. Go, Thomas, you got it. You can do it. I'm assuming the hinge is a little bit tight.
Yeah, because there's paint.
I'm cringing while watching you do
this. I'm cringing too.
This is why you're the one doing it.
Exactly.
Yeah, that one clearly didn't come nice. Kids, whenever you're painting 2 things that need to be near each other and have to open up, clearance.
Clearance.
Clearance. I always say that. It's something I've gotten better at, especially when painting arm joints. I now clearance, like if you look at my Flame Toys kits, I clearance a lot.
And then this is the part that I'm super proud of.
Oh, speaking of which, you need to look at my Bumblebee because you haven't seen it yet.
Let's see if I can get this. Come on.
You better. Oh, where's your stand? You got it? Oh, yeah, you got it.
Yeah.
Right there. That's so cool.
I mean, it is basically...
It's scary to look at because it's like, that is like really coming at you. So it's like, that's pointy.
And then, you know, the head, it's just basically facing downwards.
On camera. So you're like over here.
I am...
It's like he's never done this before. Also, this is the first time he's ever done anything on my set himself.
Yeah.
It's like, well, when you take over for me in like 3 years, you're gonna have to learn. Also, you're not used to having this much open space, but having to film on such a tight area. It's like it's the dichotomy of my review set. Lots of space in a tight review area.
Yeah.
One of these days I'll have a projected spot there that'll be like, this is where you got to have it.
There we go.
Yay! But that's after YouTube takes away all my money and videos. That is really cool.
Yeah, I call it the GN bird mode.
It's really silly.
It totally
it's really
is.
Cool.
The fact that I was able to pull it off.
Can you put the gun facing forward? Will it flip? Can you invert it to face forward on the GN drive? The way it plugs in, it should plug in.
Don't think I can.
Because I assume it plugs in the same way the overriser parts do, and just plugs in at that bottom little peg.
Yeah.
So if you put it this side, no, you can't. I just
no. I had thought about figuring like drilling a hole or something like that and putting it underneath, but because of the way it's it's not symmetrical. This is where having two would be nice because that would look really cool.
Oh my god, it would like fall over on itself. It would look really wicked though.
But yeah,
even if they were
there we go.
You knew it was gonna happen.
Yep.
One night it did. It's bound to happen. Oh, the struggles.
Yep, and everything's coming apart now.
The struggles, kids. Clearance.
Clearance.
Now that's what happens when you have too much. Too much clearance, not enough clearance. Like one is like super tight, and the other one's like, "Hey, I'm out of here."
Pretty much.
Hopefully that goes back in. Oh crap! Why did I say that? Apologies, I did not want to say that out loud. And
nah, it's
everyone's existence.
No, that joint I know has a problem.
Do the feet still squish?
Or
do they ever squish on them?
I don't think this one squished.
Really? Huh.
At the very least, the
I've never built the
HG.
HG. That's why I'm asking.
At the very least, the HG doesn't squish. So.
Well, we'll be getting a new one that does.
And then, if I remember correctly, I had to combine joints together
so I can shrink the knees up a little too. In theory, you could.
Yeah, because I can.
You can make it to where his body's just kind of hunkered down. Oh, it kind of looks like he's in labor. That's a little awkward. Never mind. I think that was a bad idea. Especially the way it's plugged in. It's terrible. I take it back. Although the other weapons would now, in flight mode, would work out perfectly fine. Because then they just look neat coming down the sides.
But yeah.
Head, it's just like, hi, I'm just going to smash into everything as we're flying along. It looks really cool.
But when I built it, when I connected this thing for the first time, I just started laughing like a madman because I was like, it works! Oh my god, I actually did it! Because this was also my first like major kit bash modification.
Yeah.
Not much else to say. I'm pretty pleased with how it turned out. You got comments, questions?
Well, because I've done my own custom 00 stuff, so I've got my 00, I forgot what I called it, full package, my 00 full package plus my 00, or build strike, my 00 build strike. And what I was thinking with the shoulders, with the 00 backpack, you can get them to sort of move in interesting ways, at least on the MG, obviously this is.
Yeah.
But now that I've built the HG, I know it can do a little bit more. So there might be a way to move the GN drives. Yeah,
I do think these can rotate forward. I'm reluctant to do so just because everything here is painted.
Yeah, because you got a basic plug and a polycap here, and it rotates here, and then it's more or less a hinge slash polycap in the backpack. So I'm just thinking if there's a way to angle them a little bit, but realistically, it's just funneling the stuff into the backpack. Or the thrusters. See, we need a spare 00 kit from something that has lots of G and verniers on it, so you can just start plugging them onto all the regular thrusters. Because it's fun. Because that would look good. Like if it just had, if these were gone and you just had the little yellow guys, and then the same thing on those.
Well, and part of the
so we need a bunch of spare.
And part of like my story idea with this was that like they somehow found parts or plans or something like that for the Wing Zero through some sort of weird cross-dimensional shenanigans.
You mean Beyond? This is your Beyond build?
I was thinking actually it might have been connected to like the Gundam Extreme arcade series where there's a Gundam that literally hops dimensions, and that's how they justify all the fights they have there. But
basically, I mean, it's just you're doing what Gundam Breaker is good at. You just take crap from one Gundam, slap it on another. Except in this case, you're not limited by what you can slap on somewhere. Oh, you want the turntable for that? You're turning it manually. Let's put it on the turntable. We'll have other turntable time.
There we go.
Okay, so that made more sense. It's like, hey, it's just turning it randomly, so now we can actually get a much better look at it here.
That's how I do it on my channel, so I'm just used to...
I have a turntable now. We can do these the easy way. But no, I'd like it. I mean, obviously, whenever I critique things, it's about, helping improve, not like this sucks. I never usually say, this sucks, why did you do this? it's usually like, why did you do this when you could possibly do it this way? But you don't have to. And I like that, of course, it's 00 related. I'm not going to dislike it. Except for the other thing that dude brought over. Somebody, I'll cut this part. I can't cut this part because it's spinning. It was a very badly hand-painted Curios. Very badly hand-painted. He said, yeah, I think I'm going to strip this thing down and try to return it to its original glory because it's so bad. But, I mean, this was a year ago. You've gotten even better at your techniques.
Yeah, and this was like one of my first major kit bash total repaints, because I think I even repainted the white plastic to make sure that everything matched.
It's definitely a different white. And you could tell where you've done a lot more weathering, like some of the white is a little bit off, stuff like that. But that's what it would do. Especially with being near the thrusters, it should be a little bit more filthy. And of course, this is round about the same time you did Lupus for Lupus, in that same vein.
Yeah,
not the same time of year, but
this came right after that one.
Okay, so we're seeing a whole lot of similar techniques.
Yeah, because like the chipping in particular, because I knew it seemed like the weathering on the ultraviolet, Lupus Rex ultraviolet, was one of the things that went over very well with everybody.
Except for one judge, just doesn't like weathering. And so
I made sure to kind of step it up on this one. I think I maybe overdid it on this particular version, but it looks like it's been dinged up in weather. To me, whether or not it should have been.
Well, to me, it's a flying type, which means it's going to be flying and hitting stuff.
Yep.
And you've got a lot of the chipping kind of forward facing in the direction it'll be flying.
Yeah,
so
and that was one of the lessons I took from ultraviolet, was because on that one I was just putting chipping anywhere, and then I started looking more at videos, and it's like, oh yeah, weathering should go on like the exterior edges of stuff.
And now, since we've done a whole chipping and paint tutorial, you should be a lot better at that in the future. One thing I'm thinking while looking at it, I think it would be awesome. So say this was something in a game or whatever. If it went to bird mode, will be awesome. So the sword flips to the backpack. Backpack shifts forward. The GN drives flip to face backwards.
That'd be cool.
So I had a hinge there, so it's like everything goes like that. That would be sweet and more compact. It would be cool.
Yeah, because that was one of the things I struggled with, because I wanted to make it transform. I just wasn't entirely certain how to. And at first I thought, I was like, oh, there's probably just be simple pegs that I can use. And then I realized that the shield for the Wing Zero has specific pegs that go into those slots on the back. Back, I was like, well, crud, what am I going to do now? And so I kind of played with positioning, and then I was like, okay, I'm just going to make it. And I looked at a couple of videos about taking claw plate, squishing it together with glue, and then to make a solid, thick piece, and then went to town.
It's a faceplant flyer.
Yeah,
it's what it is. I mean, there's no getting around it. It's not a full transformer. It's just a faceplant flyer.
And that's one of the things that, coming from a Transformers fan background, I have to kind of accept that most Gundam Transformers are like that.
Yep.
And
even our buddy Curios over here is mostly a faceplant flyer.
Yeah, and it's just sort of the limitation of the media, basically.
Yeah. But that's where I was like, well, because that's what got me thinking, is like, because the way Curios transforms, the arms and shoulders and everything flip up and forward, or the shoulders flip up and forward, but the arms tuck in tighter. So if that did something, so say all of that slid, nobody can see what I'm doing. It's like if that all slid forward, but the GM drives went backwards to be thrusters, even though it's kind of iffy what they do in the 00's case, it would be neat. I mean, nothing you could probably engineer at all on this level. That would have to be something done in MG scale.
Yeah.
But one thing that's better about the HG is that the sizes are a lot closer. Whereas I think the MG 00 is significantly bigger than the Wing Zero.
Looking at over at your collection,
he's over there. So 00 is over above your head there.
Oh yeah, 00 is a lot. But that's just
chunkier,
that's because they're just.
But I mean, it's something that could be doable. But also, like, there'd be some fun, like, you get some tall geese combination if you wanted something like that. So a tall geese flag.
That could be cool.
To offset. Or, well, actually, it would be because this is Wing Zero, it would be Epion.
So like an Epion throne or something like that?
Well, yeah, you could do that. So you could do that with the dry. So the Zwein dry. Because this is Zwei over there with the big sword. So that's dry. Yeah, the one that already has the red wings that look a lot like Epion. So if you're wanting to make something that looks similar to it, that would work. And then you can pinch those feet and make them dragon heads. So you could do that. There's a new idea for you.
Yeah.
Next year.
More thoughts.
Since we'll probably get a new Epion HG later.
We're getting there, yeah.
Yeah, they're just going to make all the Gundams at this point. But either way, so this video has gone on long enough, guys. But of course, if you have any questions, comments, all those things, down below. Of course, I'm going to switch over to facing us because it's much easier.
Okay.
All right, guys. So, of course, if you have any questions, comments, all the things, down below. Of course, go subscribe to his channel.
Please.
He needs some more peeps. He's putting out way more content than me at this point on a normal basis. But then But I've been focusing on doing this whole month of content right now, so everything else kind of suffered, so to speak.
Of course, right now I have RODIMUS running the channel. I'm trying to figure out all the weird stuff that's happening with my channel, but
that's true. He's got a weird. There's something strange going on over there in the neighborhood.
But we'll figure it out. I'll figure it out. Something.
Who are we gonna call?
I don't know. I keep forgetting things.
Why do you keep forgetting?
I don't.
What's wrong with you?
No.
How's Joan doing?
She's fine. Fine.
Okay. All right. But guys, anyways, so like, subscribe, 00CTOBER merch, whether you want to buy that shirt or this one, buy this one. It's brand new. But if you want to get all the 00CTOBER shirts, they are all available, except for the Trans Am stuff, because you missed that last week, you dork. And for everybody in the future, well, you're just going to have to find somebody on eBay who got one of the 6 that probably got ordered that aren't from me. So, of course, thanks for bringing this over. We still have one more review to do for tomorrow. And then, of course, you brought something else for me. Time travel. He brought another kit for me to compare to a kit that I built. So you've already seen that. That's really... I hate this time travel crap. Woo. So, technically speaking, you've been here 3 times this week. Because that was earlier in the week. It's freaking weird. I don't understand this YouTube thing. Schedules, kids. Schedules. 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 But guys, we'll catch you tomorrow. And remember, as always, to keep on building. We're not in his shelf space. So
you can't... No.